So the other day I spoke a lot, and Robert posted the video of me introducing him the other day. And I would usually cringe when I go back and watch myself. You name it, photos, photo albums, and movies, and I don't want to look at myself because I never really liked myself a lot. On the surface, I'm happy and bubbly. But yesterday, so I waited for half an hour before I could go on YouTube and watch the video. And then I watched the video. And man, I was never like that. That calmness when, as I spoke, that passion that I had, and people have told me, that confidence. I have a big fear of public speaking. And all my life, I've always wanted to be in the performance world, to be an actor and a singer. And I still give you a taste here from that. So I've stifled that passion in me because of the fear of not being able to speak up and being apologetic about what I love doing. So I looked at that video and I watched it 6 times before I went to sleep. And every time I was looking to see if there's something that I don't like about myself. And I really couldn't find anything. This is... And so the other day I spoke a lot about my story, and I usually, you know, there's drama there, and I like to talk about drama. So I realized that I really never talk about the changes that happened in me and around me because of FasterEFT. And I realized this is a habit that I really berate myself. And I never look around for the good. I'm always looking around for the bad. There are funny stuff that happened to me after starting to work on myself. And I want to thank Tiffany Jeffers. She introduced me to this whole thing. And I did 3 sessions with her. And I also did sessions with Deirdre Maguire. And I also have a friend in my life that's very unsympathetic to me. And I just realized that it's important to have that friend who's loving and not sympathetic, because they could be your anchor. They could see things for you when you're in your shit, when you're having symptoms and afraid. They can just give vitality to that desire to transform. And the practitioners here and mentors and Robert are like that, and it's important to be around them. So one weird change happened in Vegas, in the Las Vegas Heal Your Body seminar. And Robert picked up a girl from the audience, and he tapped on her pain. And he told us to pick up memories and tap on them. And I, you know, being me, I was like, it's not going to work. And so after he finished, after tapping for 35 minutes, the next day I woke up and there was no pain in my feet. And I've had pain in my feet since I was a child and all over my body. And 3 months later, I still do not have pain in my feet. I've always, in relationships, been the person who needs a shoulder to cry over. And the last relationship that I had ended around 3 years ago. I kept a good relationship with my ex-partner. But whenever I meet him, he would, yes, I'm gay. Didn't you know? No. So he's always been this figure that's very, you know, he's like my father. Speak of universal pattern of creation. And I've always wanted that love from my father, and I've never had it. And if I expressed love to my father, he would dismiss me and diss me and shame me. And I attracted that partner. Now, inadvertently, I was working on my diagnosis memories, and there were around 5 or 6 of them. And my ex-partner was in me with me in the memories during that time. And I just happened that I cleaned everything up. And it wasn't even a project to work on my partner, my ex-partner. And then one day, I went over for a visit, and I can see it now. We were standing on the balcony. The weather was really great, and he's having a cigarette, and I'm just standing there and feeling good. He came, put his arm around my shoulder, and then he leaned over, and he did what I used to do, like that. And then I felt like, oh my God, it's the first time that that person would actually give away and lean over just like me, feeling vulnerable. And then he said, Omar, I'm really, really proud of what you're doing and of your healing journey. And he didn't know even about FasterEFT. So I told him, well, do you want to know something cool? I cleaned you up in my memories. I cleaned myself up. And you know, we had lots of shit, and I had lots of tension with you. And I feel so relaxed and loving towards you. But it's not the possessive love. It's this love that's so light, that's so, I care, like very brotherly love. So I feel like that was really a big change for me. Another change is with my mom. I have lots of mom programs. And I have this relationship with mom where I am the gay son, and I'm the favorite son. And that seems to be cute, but since starting to be aware through these processes and art of change, that I really have programs in me that have kept me childish in a way. I haven't grown up, I haven't matured up. And what feeds into it is the relationship with my mom. And she's a great person, she's a very decent person. But, you know, there's this conditioned relationship of she's worrying about me, and I fight back. I don't want her to worry, and I hate it, and I feel controlled. So all of that was going into our relationship. And then 6 weeks after I started the online course, I never tell mom anything because she worries and those sorts of things. My mom, I was Skyping on her, and she looked at me. I looked at her. I was like, Mom, you're so happy today. She said, yeah, something weird happened today at work. I'm like, what is it? She said, this client came into the office, and he was teaching us how to tap. And you have to understand, my mom comes from a very, she's a good Muslim. This is a third world country in a very tight community. They're not open to tapping. They're not open to anything, like except Allah and the religion. And they're very decent people. But for tapping out of everything to come into her life. And then Mom, I was so excited. I'm like, Mom, I do tapping. I've been doing tapping for a while. And then she was like, okay, well, what else? What else? I was like, I change memories. And I could see her cringe. And she was like, can I ask you something? I really encourage what you're doing, but please do not clean up my memories, the memories about me. Anyway, so I started tapping on my programs with Mom. And I can see me maturing up. And then I realized something, that we could be 16, 17 years old and not mature enough. I saw Mom growing up in front of me. She's become independent. She's become really loving in a very empowering way. She's never encouraged us. She's always been trying to find problems so she can be the mom. Now she's traveling. She has her group of friends. And she told me the other day that she's so happy that we all grew up to be okay. And she feels so happy that she's free now from that burden. So yeah, these are the changes. By the way, there's an uncanny factoid about my name, Omar. And Omar's origin, the Arabs are very proud of the name Omar, but the origin of the name is Hebrew, really. And it means eloquent speaker. Just like Robert's name. Okay. So these are, this is what I want to talk about. And I have a final question for Robert. And it's a, it's $1 million question. How much are you going to pay me to be in your videos?